What's good, everybody? Valley here once again. Welcome back to the workbench. It is always here. It is always messy. And I've got another box. This is from Lin or Lin from JSPB. And he sent me something to review. Let's check it out. Alright, right off the bat we have a pack of Vowberry darts. Kind of standard sort of thing. Bubble wrap. And this is the JSPB Build and Battle Mini Hopper Kit. And this is just the base kit, and let's get this thing built. Ooh, very nice touch as separating each of the little bits with a heat blade or whatever. Alright. Alright, it is done and tested. I do apologize in advance because there was going to be a speed build segment where I sort of went through all of this and everything, but my computer crashed out on me, causing the file to become corrupted, and I lost the file and the footage and everything. But this is the JSPB Build and Battle Mini Hopper Blaster. And I, for one, am very, very impressed by what this thing can do for such a small blaster. I mean, let me grab a blaster for comparison, but here's a Strife. For something that is about the same size as a Strife, but much thinner, actually about as wide at the widest point, but for something that's about the same size, you get a lot. This thing can pack quite a punch, even though it can only hold 3 full-size Elite darts, or 6 Steffens, or slugs, or whatever you're using. I prefer using these sweet orange darts. Not only do they perform well, but they also match the colors of the blaster. This thing can hit quite impressive numbers for what it is at only a few pumps. I'll have screenshots of my chronograph app and everything on the side here, showing what I was able to get out of it, but it seems that with this shorter barrel, I'm getting better performance with full links, oddly enough. And the darts that seem to do the best out of this thing are Precise Pro darts, which, let me actually drop one in. 4 pumps. That's because I had it tilted to the side. Hoppers don't like to be tilted to the side all that much, but that was pretty darn fast. This thing would be great for HVZ. And this thing even actually has, which I have not seen many other people actually talk about, is the way the air is delivered to the hopper area has a spiral set of vents that actually add spin to the dart without a scar. So it has a built-in scar without the string, which is quite impressive. I like the fact that you can adjust the trigger's length and everything to what you prefer. And I also like the fact that the pump is quite efficient. One of my only really gripes with this thing is the grip is a little bit too vertical for my liking, and that little, just the bump there, isn't really enough for me to hold this more as a pistol, because in its base state like this, you could really even use it as sort of a sidearm, just on a sling, if you could find a way to mount a sling to it. Or you could always put a little paracord or whatever around it, but yeah. And there are a lot of add-ons that you can get for this. There's an add-on that puts a pump up here to make it more streamlined and more like a pistol. There's a piece that adds a stock point that is universal for Nerf stocks, and it also has its own sort of buffer tube style stock. It has barrel extensions that also add like the end strike nozzle, but also have their own sort of proprietary scar barrel. There's a longer barrel, there's a shorter tactical barrel. There's a sight, a scope, that actually goes around the hopper here. And you know those old milk carton periscopes that you'd make with mirrors and stuff to be able to peer over things? It uses that sort of principle to see around the hopper, so you could even get a good look down the sights. Even though this thing actually has sights, like iron sights, built in on either side, so you can tilt it slightly, and you'd be able to get a rough estimate of where you're going to be hitting. I'm very, very excited with all the add-ons that he's created for this. There's even a add-on that adds a larger tank to this. You can use like a soda bottle, so you can get multiple shots out of a bunch of pumps rather than having to pump before each shot. I mean, it's only 3 or 4 pumps, but that is really good. Another thing that I think might be user error, I might be able to fix it with tweaking, is because there's an error. There's a OPRV right here that you can actually adjust the screw in. I tend to shotgun Steffens. Didn't do it that time, but I tend to shotgun Steffens with anything over 4 pumps on this thing. Which, that can be seen as a feature or as a detriment depending on what kind of game you're playing or whatever. But I'm very pleased with this. And I want to thank the creator of this, Ezek Lin, or 3D Barbecue or whatever. He was one of the old NIC guys making homemade air-powered blasters back before I was even really into the hobby. He pioneered scar barrels and all of that, and it's evolved into these beautiful little air blasters. And he has some new stuff coming up that I am very excited for. I'd love to see in the future. I'd also like to take a look at his other add-ons for this thing so I can get a more general idea and actually kind of show off each of the parts and how they work and what kind of things you can do with them. And yes, I'll have links down below in the description where you can find this blaster as well as all of his other stuff. He has some really cool stuff. He even has parts for regular Nerf blasters, including stocks, and he even has some parts for the Desolator, which is a blaster that not many people do stuff for, which I feel is a bit of a shame. But he actually created them. Some parts like a barrel and stuff like that. And yeah, all of the relevant links down below. And yes, thanks for watching.